what happens inside your body when you haven't eaten for a few hours or even, overnight while you sleep. It's not just hunger kicking in. It's actually this incredible internal symphony that's constantly playing. Today, we're diving deep into this fascinating physiological concert that happens during fasting. It's all orchestrated by key organs to keep you energized and, well, keep your vital tissues fed. And for this deep dive, our insights are coming from a really informative video transcript. It's called Fasting, a three-organ concert at Metabolism Made Easy from the YouTube channel Metabolism Made Easy. So our mission today is to unpack these intricate processes, the surprising teamwork between your liver, your adipose tissue, that's your body fat, and your muscles. We'll look at how they make sure your body keeps its energy balance, especially for those crucial tissues that absolutely depend on glucose. Get ready for some real aha moments, I think, about just how resilient and resourceful your body truly is. Okay, let's maybe start unpacking this. When we talk about fasting in physiological terms, what does it actually mean? It's not always about going without food for days on end, right?
You're absolutely right. It's far more common than most people probably think. Physiologically speaking, fasting simply refers to the state your body enters maybe 4 to 5 hours after your last meal.
4 or 5 hours, okay.
Yeah, and that also includes the 7 or 8 hours you spend sleeping overnight.
Right, so it's an everyday thing.
Exactly. And the crucial mission during these periods is to maintain your plasma glucose levels very, very precisely, keeping them stable somewhere between 80 to 100 milligrams per deciliter. This steady supply is absolutely essential because, well, certain key tissues and cells almost entirely depend on glucose for their energy needs.
Okay, that's a really critical point. Which tissues are we talking about here? The ones that are so reliant on that constant glucose supply?
We're talking about some major players. Your brain, for one.
Okay.
Your red blood cells.
Yeah.
The kidney medulla, and also your testes. These vital parts of your body, they just can't function properly without that consistent glucose flow.
Got it.
And if we zoom out a bit, look at the bigger picture, the liver is truly the central player here, the maestro, if you will, in maintaining that blood glucose during fasting. It really is your body's primary source of glucose output when you're not eating.
So the liver is the star. If you haven't eaten and your blood sugar needs to stay stable for, the brain and everything else, how does the liver actually pull this off? What are its main strategies?
Well, it's got two distinct and really vital pathways it uses to produce glucose and restore those plasma levels. First, there's something called glycogenolysis.
Glycogenolysis.
Yeah. Think of it like accessing a readily available pre-stored energy reserve. The liver breaks down its stored glycogen, which is basically just a big chain of glucose molecules,
right,
to release glucose directly into the bloodstream. It's a relatively quick fix.
Well, limited, I guess.
Exactly. Those stores aren't infinite. So second, and this is where it gets really remarkable, is gluconeogenesis.
Gluconeogenesis, new glucose creation.
That's literally what it means, new glucose creation. The liver can actually synthesize brand new glucose molecules from non-carbohydrate sources.
Yeah.
It uses smaller molecules, mostly derived from the carbon skeletons of specific amino acids. It's essentially building sugar from scratch.
Wow, okay, so your body is literally building new sugar from non-sugar parts when needed. That's some serious resourcefulness. But I heard the liver doesn't quite stop there. Doesn't it also make something called ketone bodies? What are those about? What's their role?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
The liver is multitasking here. In addition to ramping up its glucose output, it also significantly increases ketone body synthesis, a process called ketogenesis.
Ketogenesis, okay.
It produces these ketone bodies because during fasting, the liver itself starts using more fatty acids as its own energy source. This process generates a lot of a small energy unit called acetyl-CoA. Some of this acetyl-CoA is then diverted and used for ketogenesis.
Ah, I see.
So what's happening is the liver is providing two different forms of energy for the rest of the body during fasting. There's glucose, primarily for those glucose-dependent tissues we mentioned.
The brain red blood cells.
Exactly. And then there are ketone bodies, which serve as an alternative fuel source for other tissues, like your muscles, and even the brain can adapt to use them,
right,
especially during longer fasts.
Interesting. So it's providing options.
Precisely, which naturally raises an important question. Where do all those fatty acids, the ones the liver is using and turning into ketones, actually come from in the first place? And what's truly fascinating here is, well, how your body mobilizes its stored energy reserves. During fasting, your adipose tissue, which is just your body fat, becomes incredibly active.
So it's not just sitting there.
not at all. It provides most of the fatty acids needed for energy across the body. It does this through a process called lipolysis.
Well, lipolysis. Okay, so breakdown of lipids or fats.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
simply the breakdown of your stored triglycerides, which are the main form of stored fat.
So our fat stores aren't just passive storage depots. They're actually dynamic fuel tanks, releasing fuel when needed. What triggers this release? Is it just automatic when you haven't eaten for a while?
No, it's definitely not automatic. It's tightly controlled primarily by hormones.
Hormones, right.
Both exercise and fasting itself trigger an increase in a specific hormone in your bloodstream. It's called epinephrine, though most people know it as adrenaline.
Adrenaline, okay, the fight or flight hormone.
That's the one. But it also plays this key role in energy mobilization. Epinephrine acts like a chemical signal, basically telling your fat cells to release fuel. It stimulates a specific receptor, the beta-adrenergic receptor, on the surface of the fat cells. This kicks off a chain reaction inside the cell. It increases something called cyclic AMP, which activates another molecule, protein kinase A.
Sounds complex.
It is a cascade, but the end result is what matters here. Protein kinase A activates a key enzyme called hormone-sensitive lipase.
Hormone-sensitive lipase. Okay, that sounds important.
It really is. This lipase is the enzyme that actually does the work of breaking down the stored fat, the triacylglycerol. It hydrolyzes it, resulting in the release of 3 fatty acids and 1 glycerol molecule into the bloodstream.
And those fatty acids are then free.
They're free to travel. They can be picked up by the liver, used for that ketone body synthesis we talked about, or used directly by other tissues like muscles for energy. It's a very precise on-demand fuel delivery system.
Okay, so we've got the liver as the maestro, managing glucose and ketones. We've got adipose tissue as this dynamic fuel tank, releasing fatty acids thanks to epinephrine. Is there a third major player in this whole metabolic concert during fasting?
Absolutely. We can't forget muscle tissue. It plays a really critical collaborative role.
Collaborative. How so? I usually think of muscle as just using energy.
It definitely uses energy, but during fasting, it also provides important precursors, building blocks for the liver's gluconeogenesis, that new glucose creation process.
Ah, okay. So it's helping the liver make glucose. What kind of precursor?
2 key ones provided by muscle are lactate and alanine.
Lactate and alanine.
Yeah. Let's look at the Cori cycle first. You know how muscles produce lactate, especially during exercise, but also just during normal metabolism?
Yeah, that burning feeling sometimes.
Sometimes, yes. Well, that lactate gets released into the bloodstream. The liver then picks it up. Inside the liver, it converts this lactate into another molecule called pyruvate, which it can then skillfully use to synthesize brand new glucose via gluconeogenesis.
Right.
This newly made glucose is then released back into the bloodstream where it can be picked up by various tissues, including the skeletal muscle it might have come from originally. It completes this very elegant recycling loop.
Wow. Okay, so lactate isn't just waste. It's recycled fuel.
Precisely. And then there's the alanine glucose cycle. It's a similar idea. Your muscles are constantly turning over proteins as part of normal maintenance. This produces various amino acids. Alanine happens to be an amino acid that's in high concentration in muscle. So muscle releases alanine into the blood, and again, the liver picks it up. In the liver, alanine is converted to pyruvate, just like lactate was, essentially. And that pyruvate is used in gluconeogenesis to synthesize new glucose.
And that glucose goes back into the blood, too.
Back into the bloodstream, available for any tissue that needs it, including skeletal muscle. So another vital cycle is completed.
So wait, this means muscle isn't just a consumer of glucose in this fasting state. It's actively contributing materials back to the system so the liver can make more glucose. That's actually a surprising twist. It's acting like a biochemical recycling plant, almost, providing raw materials. I never really thought of muscle in that way.
It's a beautiful example of metabolic cooperation. And it's really important to remember that all these intricate processes we've discussed, the liver's glucose output, the breakdown of fats and adipose tissue, the muscle's contributions of lactate and alanine, they're all incredibly tightly regulated.
Right. You mentioned the 80 to 100 range for glucose.
Exactly. That plasma glucose level is meticulously maintained in that narrow window, primarily because of the precise effects of key hormones acting on the liver. We mentioned epinephrine.
Yeah, for the fat release.
Right, but epinephrine, along with another crucial hormone called glucagon, also acts directly on the liver. Under the influence of both glucagon and epinephrine, the liver's 2 pathways for restoring blood glucose, both glycogenolysis, breaking down stored glycogen, and gluconeogenesis, making new glucose, are efficiently activated. It's a coordinated response.
Wow, what an incredibly intricate dance we've just uncovered here. It really is like a concert. You've got the liver acting as, well, both a glucose factory and a ketone body generator.
The central hub.
Yeah. Then adipose tissue releasing those crucial fatty acids right when needed.
The energy reservoir.
And even muscle, surprisingly, contributing building blocks for new glucose production elsewhere. Your body truly performs this amazing three-organ concert every single time you go without food for just a few hours. It's a remarkable system, clearly designed for incredible resilience.
It really is.
Yeah.
And thinking about this complex, interconnected system, maybe consider how understanding these hidden internal concerts might change your perspective a little bit, even on everyday things like simply sleeping through the night or just waiting a few hours between meals. There's so much happening under the hood.
Yeah, definitely gives you pause. What other intricate, life-sustaining processes might be humming away inside us right now? Processes we rarely even consider, constantly orchestrating our very existence. Something to think about.